Oh, Lacey Evans. You got to hear the comments that Lacey Evans made regarding her WWE tenure and a bunch of other topics. In this video, we're going to break it down because Lacey Evans is an interesting name if you think about it. She seemed to fit the part. She definitely fit the mold, and Vince McMahon was highly, highly high on her because if you look at the way that she has, or at least been booked, you could see that Vince McMahon was a fan, and she broke into the wrestling business in 2014, worked on the indie scene before going to WWE in 2016, where she worked through 2023. From 2016 to 2019, she was in NXT, with the remainder of her time split across Raw and SmackDown on the main roster. She's feuded with the likes of everyone, including Charlotte Flair and that Ric Flair thing, which I'll get to in a minute. She was part of the inaugural Mae Young Classic in 2016, and she had a memorable feud with Kairi Sane in NXT. Her first feud was in January of 2019 with Becky Lynch that ultimately led to a mixed tag team match at Extreme Rules. Remember that? It was Baron Corbin. It was Seth Rollins. Ugh. And then throughout, she kind of had start and stop pushes. Lacey Evans is someone who, while yes, the company and yes, Vince McMahon was very high on, well, not all the fans were because they kind of saw, okay, does she love this? Is she a fan of this? Which is something that she talked about in a recent interview with Chris Van Fleet. So, what did she have to say about her time with the company? Well, this is what she had to say. I've had a lot of offers, obviously, reach out, meaning from independent companies. But I did WWE for 7 years, and it was never my passion. That was never a secret. It was incredible to see my fellow sports entertainers. That is their passion. Jesus, sports entertainers. It's wrestlers. But I just knew. I went out there and did the best I could and did my job, but I always looked forward to coming home. My family traveled with me everywhere I went for the most part. And that was a struggle, right? Because when I got signed with WWE, I was a mom and a wife, and I've been with my husband since I was 15. She went on to say, you have an incredible opportunity, but it was a lot for whenever you compare that with passion and WWE. It's very difficult. You're on the road well over 300 days a year. They want a lot from you. There was always something in the back of my head going, what the F am I doing? She was also talked about whether or not there was a part of her that actually missed the company and missed wrestling. She said, do you want me to lie? No, there's not. Some people, they wake up and they put on since 6-inch Toledos and 10 pounds of makeup and their extensions, and they go and walk the red carpet and they feel amazing. I'm not one of those people, and it was very difficult for me to put on that front. Yeah. I would think so. She also do y'all remember Sergeant Slaughter? He took massive issue with Lacey Evans and her latest, I don't want to say latest gimmick, but the latest introduction of the gimmick, right? Where she was putting her military background, she was a former Marine, on centerfold. It was a focus of her gimmick. And she was asked in this interview, what do you think of Sergeant Slaughter, who was never in the military, but pretended like he was for decades for the gimmick, kayfabe brother, and his daughter ripping Evans at the time. This is what she had to say. I think they're freaking weak. Remember that weak word we were just talking about? Yeah, and no disrespect to the Hall of Famers in WWE that paved the way. He can kiss my butt, and his daughter can too, for that record. Have a good day. I don't know where the heck this came from. They know the game. You go to work, you get told this is what you're doing, and what a lot of people don't know is what I said and what it was done, how it was discussed with him, and they talked to him, and that was none of my dang concern. She went on to say, what you do, you call in the military when you freaking have seniors above you. You have a rank structure. In WWE, when you're a performer, you're like down here, whatever goes above your head. A lot of times, unless you start crying about it and go banging on doors, I don't like that. I'm not going to cry about it. You tell me what the F you need. You tell me what time the bell rings, and then I'll go and do whatever it is. Because I got a family to feed, a husband to love, and I'll say this with conviction because I made sure I was in shape. I made sure that I could do all the flip flops and the drop downs, made sure to create the character. They told me you're going to go out there and you're going to do the Cobra Clutch, and he's going to come in and help. And then whatever happened, next thing you know, he's not out there and I'm still doing the Cobra Clutch. She continued. But don't get mad at me because I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? Or let's have a conversation, right? And at no point was that conversation ever had. Whoever his daughter is from that side, that was wild. It didn't really ruffle my feathers. I kind of thought it was funny. Like, bless their freaking hearts. But I didn't lose no sleep over it. My family still got fed, still did what the F needed to do. And I just hope that they keep that same energy, that same kayfabe energy when they see me, because I don't give an S like that. End quote. This woman went on a rant. My Lord. I hope y'all followed along with that. Yeah, look, Sergeant Slaughter. Hey, man, respect to you. Thank you for putting in all the miles, all the bumps, all the tears, all the blood, all that good stuff. But man, he's what, like he's a senior citizen who I think is still in that kayfabe, don't take my gimmick, brother type of mentality. And yes, there are certain gimmicks that you do not take. You do not take Steve Austin or Hulk Hogan or The Rock or The Undertaker or Ric Flair or any other major star's gimmick. He was a military gimmick. He was a military character. That's pretty broad. Just saying. It is what it is, man. You cannot be outraged by that. You just can't do it. Calm your jets, calm down, everything will be okay. Move on. That's what I would have to say to old Sarge. Yeah. Good old Sarge.